Hey, Bill, thank you. Appreciate being here. And boy, is it ever fun, Bill, staying focused on a project. Let me tell you, I've learned that years ago. For you folks out there that are brand new to this business tonight, being with a company that's 6 years old, debt-free, offshore, millions in retail gold sales, getting paid 5 times a month. Are you kidding me? Folks, this stuff's hot. This is amazing. And you don't switch ships 3 months later because things aren't working. Focus on your goals and stay on track with what you're doing. Watch what the leaders do, folks, every day. They're here every week, every month. They're here year after year. The people that believe in what they're doing. When you become passionate, you get the carrot bars bug. You'll know what we're talking about. And let me tell you, that is an exciting bug to get because you're not going to look elsewhere. You know, people need to have financial insurance right now to protect themselves. People have, health insurance, car insurance, house insurance, fire insurance, all these different insurances, but they're not thinking about, trading those worth less today dollars like Dave Struckman talks about and purchasing gold on a consistent basis, preferably weekly, folks. Learn how to do that. Open your free gold savings account today. Think about that, free gold savings account today with an international company that will actually store your gold for free. That is one of the most powerful concepts I've ever heard. Using a lot of talks about how amazing it is to go out and share this with people in that fashion, because you know what? You can't even walk into a U.S. bank or Bank of America or Wells Fargo, folks, and open a bank account today. They need everything from you, but I can have you signed up within 5 minutes, have your free international gold savings account ready to go. Let me tell you, that is powerful stuff. We just are excited to be here. We're going to continue to help show people how to become successful. I don't think I've ever rubbed shoulders with so many multimillionaires, folks, that are giving their time for free. They're showing you how to do this and how to become the next millionaire for free. There's some folks on this team, I guarantee you folks would pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 if they were all in a room teaching a seminar on a Friday and Saturday. There would be people paying that amount to go a couple quick things regarding three-way calling, how important it is for you to be using your business partners, and find out, who brought you into this business, Carrot Bars, and get a list of the people that you need to be communicating with when you have folks saying, you know what, I want to learn a little bit more about this business after you've showed them a 3-minute video or been to one of our websites and have seen a couple different videos. It's time for a 3-way call, folks, and you need to have a list of your business partners and who's available to help you close your business. It's critical. It's the most important tool in my life, and networking is having my business partners available and actually using those folks. So anyway, again, congratulations to all of you. We're going to move right along, and I want to find out if V happened to join us tonight, because V had a tight schedule, and I don't know if he joined us. V, are you on tonight?
I am here.
My good friend V, the Guerrilla Economist V. I don't have to go much into detail. I'm going to have you come in and introduce Jorge here in just a moment. But V, thank you so much. I know you're running a radio show back up in the Northeast with well over 2 million listeners. In fact, you're probably one of the most largest listener bases on a conservative radio show that I've ever heard of. But more importantly, V, you found Carrot Bars. And I know Dave and Nadine have had you on a few of our Wake Up and Smell the Coffee calls. We started with you a few months ago. You did an interview with us here and blew people away because of a couple things. More importantly, the fact that you found Carrot Bars, V, to be fitting in to where, what you're teaching, what you're preaching right now, and what your listeners are looking for. So thank you so much for being on tonight. Maybe you can come on and give us the latest updates on how things are fitting out there in the economy and how you see Carrot Bars continue to be a big part of that play.
Absolutely. Pat, first and foremost, it's an honor and a privilege to be on this call with all of you. And look, you guys are here. This is probably one of the most important things you'll ever listen to. One of the things I can confidently tell everybody is this. In terms of what's going on in the economy, things are progressively getting from bad to worse. In spite of all the government lies, in spite of all the fictitious, made-up, bloated numbers that they tell you with the unemployment rate and this rate and that rate, what's happening right now in the market is absolutely at a tipping point. We've never seen anything like this. Okay, I mean, just this week alone, the United States Treasury launched a 3-month Treasury note that pays nothing. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about that, Pat, but it's pretty ridiculous what's happening. And the things that are coinciding globally, and one of the things I've been warning about for people who've been following me for quite a few years is this. I would always say that 2015 is a date, is a time period where you're going to have the dollar completely undermined. I would never say dollar collapse or the end of the dollar or anything like that. But when I say undermined, meaning its polish, its stature, its status, its position as world reserve currency will be greatly challenged and undermined, that we will be facing a paradigm shift that is so altering that those that are in the world will begin to look for other mediums of exchange besides the dollar. And when Russia went on ahead into Syria and decided to clean up a mess that we couldn't clean up in over 2 years, paradigm shift has already happened. It is happening. You have globally what I call dollar shaming that is occurring. And yet the average American is disconnected, dejected, and out of touch with news that goes on globally. He is more inured with Kim Kardashian's rear end. He's more enamored by NFL football. He's more taken by reality shows and sports programming and things and Real Housewives this and the Real Hollywood House Husbands that, all this nonsense that takes up the airways. But they begin to fail, and many people fail to see the ominous storm clouds that are brewing. And this is the reality of it, folks. You know, one of the things I was telling Pat is I'm going to try my best to get on this call. The reason being is because there's so many things going on. I've been on the horn this whole past week with my major guy who's in the gold industry. He's in Hong Kong. And between me and him, we move hundreds of metric tons of gold globally throughout the world to large institutional clients and sovereigns. And folks, I can confidently tell you that there's a smash and grab going on for gold and precious metals at such a rate never before have seen before ever. And the central bankers who have put us in this position, who have helped drive our economy off the cliff, the central bankers are doing everything they can to suppress artificially the price of gold. The demand has never been higher than it's ever been. I talked to my main gold guy, Pat, and I said, hey, look, what's the status on the market? And he told me straight up, he said, V, here's the deal. We got clients that we need to close out for this month, but there are certain bullion that we just can't get because the demand is so high. We're being put on wait lists. And this is a large multinational company, folks, worth billions. And they're put on waiting lists for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Why? Because demand is more than the actual supply. Nations around the world, people around the world are beginning to see the handwriting on the wall. They are realizing that America has been laid, the dollar has been laid against the scales, and it's been found to be wanting. And so the paradigm is beginning to shift. So the time, the season, the time frame, the life that we've known to have existed amongst our entire life, what we're used to seeing day in, day out, is rapidly changing, folks. It's rapidly changing. And Pat, I fear that, going into 2017, we are facing, and this word's not just coming from me, it's coming from some of the top minds in the economic game, guys that you probably might not even heard of. But these are some of the smartest guys in the world. These are guys who consult with nations. And we are looking at a 2017 date in a very, very probable crash of the United States economy. And the very thing that can save people in this sort of event, that can preserve your purchasing power, and it has been tried again and again and again for thousands of years, and that is gold. And I can't begin to tell you, folks, the reason why I got involved in Carrot Bars is simply because of this. Carrot Bars does for Joe Public, for the average person on the street, with the Guerrilla Economist and the various brokerage firms that he works with, what we do for large institutional clients who have to spend hundreds of thousands, in some cases millions of dollars, in order to procure LBMA certified gold, in order to have that gold vaulted, in order to provide liquidation for that gold if need be. Carrot Bars does that for the average person, and that's what blew me away. And I said to myself, my God, what I'm doing on a large scale, Carrot Bars has figured out how to do it on a very, very small scale and make it effective and profitable. And that's what blew my mind away. And those that were able to listen, and soon you guys are going to be hearing from Jorge. And Jorge is a guy who has taken the bull by the horns. I think he's been active in Carrot Bars maybe a little over 3-4 weeks or so, if I remember correctly when I was speaking with him. This is a guy in my team that's been tearing it up. And there's a lot of folks that listen to a program like this or, well, average Americans don't get gold. Well, here's the thing, folks. The average American understands the economy screwed up. Okay? The average American is looking for a solution. The average American knows that, hey, man, the price of ground beef is almost $4 a pound, in some cases over $4 a pound. The average American knows that.
Okay, we lost V. He went into a bad signal. I was actually going to have him touch on how he was introduced to Carrot Bars. Maybe he'll chime back in. So, Jorge, let's move right along, and I'll have to take over the introduction now. Thank you for being on with us, Jorge. We've heard so much about your success recently, and I know you've just shot right up the ladder to nearly the top prize right now on the incentives. So I think folks are excited to hear from you tonight. I know you have sponsored well over 70 people in a very short period of time. So
that's just odd. I just dropped off and I'm back. Apologize. I don't know what
happened. V, before I was just getting to introduce Jorge, I wanted you, before we do that real briefly, V,
yeah.
I wanted you to share with people, because I know a lot of people hear you talk, and it's just, it's amazing the stuff that comes out of you, and I know because you're tuned in to really what's going on out there, but if you would share with people, V, in just a minute or two, how you were introduced to Carrot Bar, why you're here, because I want the folks, V, to hear this, because the person that actually enrolled you, I know you didn't know, and I want folks to know how important it is to go out and not be afraid to contact people like you and drip on them, okay?
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing, folks. I had a gentleman by the name of Jeff. Never met him before, never spoke to him before. He would constantly email me. He'd listen to my radio show, and I guess he decided, hey, you know what, let me reach out to this guy. Constantly email me, constantly, he hunted me down on Skype, and started bombarding me there. And I said, you know what, I don't have any time for network marketing schemes, this, that, and the other. And then after being so persistent, I said, okay, you know what, Jeff, if it's going to get you off my back, then you know what, I'll take a look at Carrot Bars. I went on ahead, took a look at Carrot Bars, and I was absolutely dumbstruck. I realized this is not an MLM. This is not some sort of network marketing thing. This is affiliate marketing. This is similar to what Amazon does, okay? This is dealing in gold. This is dealing in terms of just as how I used to work, where a client would come up to me, put up $5 million. We'd vault the gold. We'd give them physical delivery if they need it. Carrot Bars does the same thing with LBMA gold, with all the security features and all the trimmings for the average person. And I said to myself, this is the greatest thing that the average American can do to save and protect his wealth. Amazing. And I was blown away by it, Pat. And I said, you know what, this is a company that I want to get involved with. And I did my due diligence. I called up my guys who were able to do background checks on various multinational companies and corporations overseas. And I went through Carrot Bars and Harold Sykes through like a fine-tooth comb. And I said, this is a company that I could absolutely recommend and represent. I get bombarded. People want me to do, hey, recommend this, recommend that. I don't recommend a lot of things in my life. I really don't. And especially as a business, I stand 1,000% behind Carrot Bars. It is the only exploit that the average American has, and that's why I'm with it. It's your only exploit.
V, that's powerful, man. And Jeff, if you're out there, congratulations on persistence and stay tuned. V, that's what it took to get your attention. What an amazing story.